You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's The Real Housewives of Miami After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Real Housewives of Miami After Show.
Hey, ladies and gents, Bing is for doing, and we're here doing another AfterBuzz After Show for The Real Housewives of Miami, Season 2, Episode 6, called Sexting Candles. I said that a little too with the teen on the end. It's actually Sexting Candles, right?
Yes.
So some sexting going on in the show, and some teenage behavior going on in the show, so it's pretty appropriate. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Kristen Carney, and I have with me two lovely co-hosts. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
Hi, I'm Jake Dupree.
Hi, I'm Molly Harper.
It's always so awkward to transition out of that, isn't it?
It's awkward saying my name in general, or saying hello.
Yeah.
It's awkward for me.
It's kind of like the AA meeting introduction.
Yeah.
It's like, hi, I'm Kristen, and I'm into The Real Housewives of Miami.
Yeah.
Like,
That is an issue.
It is. There's fiction.
A little shame in that. So tonight we're missing Michelle, but she'll be back with us next week. And I do want to let everyone know that, unfortunately, we had a little bit of a technical difficulty, and we missed the first 15 minutes of the episode. So, and we're jumping right into this from watching the episode, so we don't have time to be able to DVR and go back and all of that. But next week we're going to be, all caught up, and we'll be able to discuss the next show of the first 15 minutes, if it's that exciting. I don't know if I highly doubt it or not. Wasn't Elsa supposed to be in it? You mentioned
At the
Jake?
beginning. She was supposed to be at the beginning with a confrontation with Elaine, the drag queen.
Right.
Darn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sad I missed that.
That's an awesome conversation starter.
It is.
Anything with Elaine, the drag queen.
Of course we had to miss that. Let's open it up with a bang. So let's just go into where we started watching from, which was exactly the moment where Adriana was confronting Karen about her behavior, and then we saw Alexia come in. Jake was saying before we got in here that he thought it was a little bit mean girl. Molly was saying she really likes Adriana. Go at it, you two.
I just thought it was way too much. Like, they came at her guns blazing. Like, they didn't want to give her a shot at all to explain herself. And I thought last week I was a little too hard on Karen after watching some of the episodes back. I don't know. I think that she is a very smart businesswoman, and I think that she is doing it for herself and making her business better. I think she lacks a little social grace, but I think that they're being too hard on her because they're jealous of her. I honestly think that.
Yeah, I can see a little bit
What do you
of
think
the
they're
jealousy
jealous
thing.
of?
I think that they're jealous of her youth and her age, and youth and age, that's the same thing, excuse me.
Wait, you think
her,
she's younger?
Then most of them, yeah, the ones
She
that are
looks
hating.
older to me.
She looks older to me as
'Cause,
well.
plastic
I don't
surgery makes you
know.
age, though. She's had, obviously,
So
a lot happen.
I think
I should have said a lot
I think
happen.
she's comparable to a lot of the other women there. I don't think that she's like Joanna.
I think it's her looks as well and her business. I mean, that's something to be jealous about because she is successful.
Yeah, she has this thing about her, and I'm not on her side, but she has this thing about her that's kind of very almost retro of a woman, which is very smiley, very polite, always saying the right thing. Some women like Adriana or Leah or Alexia would pounce on that.
They aren't going to respond to it at all.
But at the same token, I see where they're coming from, but I do think they did it in a really kind of gross way. But, you're on the show. That's the only way to really do things sometimes.
Well, the funny thing about it to me is I agreed with everything Alexia and Adriana were saying. But it's funny to me because in real life, like if you have a problem with someone, like say I really feel that way about you, I'm not going to come up to you and be like, do you know what you do that's really annoying? When you're at a party, you talk, blah, blah, blah. I mean, and that's what I find so entertaining is that it's like they have no filter as to what is normal and what's not normal.
You know, there's some similarities there between that and what Ramona did in New York to
Yeah.
Heather.
Yes, exactly.
It was like they just met, and all of a sudden Ramona was telling Heather that her behavior is wrong.
But the difference is Ramona would go up to Heather and be like, I don't like the way you look, I don't like the way you talk, and then she'd run. But Adriana's like,
would
I don't like the
scurry.
way you look, I don't like the way you talk, and I'm going to stand here and snap my fingers in your face until you consent that I am right. I mean, she is not giving up.
And then they ask her to leave.
Yeah.
They don't leave. You leave.
Yeah.
Right.
She's
This
like
is
a
my
pit
house.
bull.
You leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Even
like,
though
leave my
someone's
party now, please.
Yeah, and so Alexia joins in, and that's when it kind of becomes more of the circus. And I said if it was just Adriana confronting Karen with the T,
Yeah.
then I would feel more at ease with it, you know, because it didn't have this high school girl feeling, you know, with the gang mentality.
Yeah.
What did bother me the most, though, because again, it didn't really bother me horribly because I don't like Karen, but what did bother me was when she went over to say goodbye to everyone, and then they kind of got a chance to mimic her and to make her look worse, even though she was taking the high road and being polite and saying goodbye and not just storming out. You know, that gave them another opportunity to pick on her.
Yeah. Then
Were
Mama
they making fun
Elsa-
of her Spanx or something?
Well, she bent over, and Mama Elsa pulled down her dress. And the only reason Mama Elsa turned down her dress was because she's jealous of what she was seeing under there as an old woman.
I don't even
Girl,
wanna
I just
imagine
said it. I don't know.
No.
Gross.
I know, gross.
I mean, that's the part that bothered me the most is when she pulled her dress down. It was just
Especially for a 75-year-old woman
Don't
to
be
be doing. Don't get
involved.
involved. Don't stoop to the level of a high school girl, especially when you're not even really on the show.
exactly.
You don't really need to create the drama,
Yeah, that's true.
you know. I don't know. I feel like there should be more with that, though, with Karen.
I
It
don't know,
ended pretty quickly.
I think Karen is annoying. She's very like she did that thing when she was talking to Adriana and Alexia where she kept going, "Okay, sweetheart. Okay, sweetheart." And it's just like when you say the word sweetheart to anyone, to me it's automatically like
it's like saying,
condescending.
okay, bitch.
Yeah.
It is.
And with that smile on her face, and I was thinking the whole time, like, she kind of looks like a Latina Susan Lucci.
She
Oh.
does.
She does.
She does.
I
And then
think
she's
that.
like, I am a dentist, an actress, a soap actress, and a spokesperson for Colgate. It's like, to me, she seems like somebody who wanted to be an actress, but probably came from a well-to-do family who said you must get an education. So she did the dentist thing as her plan B, but she was never quite settled with that. So she must have still wanted to be an actress. As she made that very clear that she's an actress and the spokesperson, which obviously she takes pride in. That must have been, I'm assuming, how she met.
I
with,
wouldn't want a
with
dentist that's
Paul.
also an actress.
No, me neither. But but she wants the fame and the publicity. She wants all the things a celebrity would get, and that's why I find her kind of just gross. It's like,
Oh, snap! Oh, snap!
yeah, I don't know why I did that.
Yeah. She's looking for different avenues to just be in the public eye.
There was a
and-
lot of
But-
snapping fingers in the episode, so it was appropriate.
But that would make her business better. Like she would get so much more business, from being photographed all the time and being around, but also being on this show. She's gonna get a lot more business. And
Right, this is what I said
that's-
last week with the
yeah.
double publicity. It's like you're overdoing it.
Maybe that's the problem that we're having with her. Is
She's
that
annoying.
the double publicity thing?
It's annoying. It's very transparent what she's doing, and I totally agree with Alexia and Adriana. And I thought that they had. I didn't write down what they exactly said to her and about her, but it was kind of spot on. Was mean, but spot on. Can't really argue with that sometimes.
yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's not tactful in a social setting to say those things, but what they're saying, I felt was pretty valid.
And I
So-
mean, okay, then we'll
I
move
know
on. But
you disagree.
you're on the Real Housewives. You got to say it. If you don't say it, and you know her personality is like the white elephant in the room, and if you don't call out her personality, it's going to make people watching uncomfortable because she is kind of annoying to watch.
If you like it, you can take it. If you don't, send it right back.
That was Elsa talking, actually.
No, that was Elaine, the drag queen.
Right? Yeah.
I love
It was
it.
Luann. She came in from New York.
Oh, hey.
Hey. Well, I do want to take a second and say thanks to everyone on iTunes for listening already. We've got a couple comments, and
Yeah.
I'm really excited. Thanks for listening and commenting. It was Nicole. I think one of the names was Nicole,
Yeah.
and then one that started with an O. Thanks for your comments. We appreciate it. Tell your friends, and come back next Thursday. We'll be here every Thursday. But if you want to, I don't know. I'm trying to
Subscribe.
Subscribe. That's what I was thinking of. If you want to subscribe, actually, there's an iTunes app as well that you can download and keep all of your subscriptions in. But yeah, just, listen, write, comment. That's all. Burp, the end. I like to make that as uncomfortable as possible. Thanks. See, I don't like to ask favors. That's why it's hard. It's easier for me to just say, like, to my mom, hey, Mom, do this. It's hard for me to politely ask something. All right, so we move on to Joanna and Roman. She sees the computer. Awkwardness of it was that it didn't look like, how do you put texts on a computer?
Yeah.
Was it GChat? Was it AOL, America Online, when we all had our profile on there?
Yeah,
It's weird, yeah.
It looked fake.
It did look fake, and those emoticons looked like emoticons from 1999.
Yeah.
Not
No,
like
they did. They looked like my.
or unless he's like flirting with some girl who's still using a flip phone.
Or she's
But how would he
underage.
get it on his email?
I don't know.
And the other weird thing is, like, when you IM with somebody, it says your username and then colon and then the text.
You know
and
what
then and there was nothing. It was like, I want to see you Wednesday, and then right below that, I can't wait to see you. And like, there was no clear differentiation.
I feel like the producers or whoever took that information and reformatted it to make it readable for the TV or something. Or maybe it was from his phone and they had to send it to a computer so it was easier for the audience to see or find or something. Because that was awkward looking.
Yeah.
And he had a Mac, right? It looked like a.
Yeah.
Was she on a Mac or his Mac?
It was a Mac.
Yeah. So I don't think Steve Jobs would be proud of that. There he is right now. Okay, so she then makes a dinner. Do you think her tears were genuine on the phone with Marta?
I just think she was looking. Yes and no. I think that she was looking for attention just from somebody, just venting, being like, "This is how I feel," But I think that she should be genuinely sad because that's a terrible situation that no one wants to be in. To find a transcript of something saying that basically they're cheating on you, like that's awful.
I think she's she's very pretty when she cries. She cries in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like her eyes get wet, but they don't actually like go down her face, and her face doesn't make that ugly wrinkled look.
Well, because she's never really crying. She wasn't crying like Alexia was in that scene where she was like ugly crying.
Yeah, she wasn't ugly crying, and
Neck
so she
wrinkles.
kind of like gets teary.
She just looks like she's in a beautiful photo shoot where it's emotional and it's going to be in like some sort of like black and white coloring, and she's looking at a perfume bottle that just reminds her of her old lover in this advertisement. That's how pretty she looks when
That
she
was
cries.
deep.
It's as deep as we get from Miami. I'm not going any deeper.
We're surface deep.
That's what she said.
Oh.
I just wanted to shake her and be like, just because you've invested 5 years in this relationship doesn't mean you should stay in it. Clearly you're miserable, you're unhappy, he's cheating on you. You're gorgeous. You can find somebody else. And you're rich, you don't even need him for the money. I found it really kind of desperate and pathetic, but in that way it kind of made me love her a little bit more because it showed that deep down she's just a girl like any other girl that you might know. And no matter if you're gorgeous, supermodel or not,
This is deep.
You're gonna be not really. You might get insecure or, and I kind of. She just seemed really human and just like any other girl. I mean, she reminded me of I've been there. Every girlfriend I know has been there, where you get insecure about a guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, a supermodel can get insecure about a guy.
Yeah, you forget.
Shows that they're human beings.
Yeah.
Well, especially on shows like this, you forget they are human beings.
Yeah.
Because they just look like train wrecks and craziness. And sometimes there's a human under there. Sometimes there isn't.
I enjoy the human moments of the Housewives, like on New York Housewives, when when Aviva bought she had the legs for the guy, the little kid.
Oh
yes.
yeah, that was.
That's the moments that I love to see on the Housewives because it shows that they're real people who have real feelings. They just don't.
Yeah.
They're not just people that yell at each other, being insane and
but do you want to see a lot of that? I don't want to see.
I don't want to see a lot of it,
No,
but I
but
think it's cool that they do show that because that's important as a person, just to show those emotions.
Well, they do that on Celebrity Apprentice, where they each week give the donation that they won the week before to the charity, and it's just such a planned, contrived moment that people talk about it like, oh, that's so nice they did it. It's like, yeah, of course it's nice they did it, but they didn't need to film how fake and forced it was. Just give them the check. We don't need this. I don't know. I see these shows doing this to maybe not seem so wretched, but I just find sometimes it's like it seems forced and it doesn't seem natural. But I do think we saw Joanna in a human moment, though.
Mhm.
I don't think that was so far. I haven't really seen forced and unnatural on Housewives, but
How about Marta moving out of Joanna's place?
I mean, I think that's for storyline for Marta, so she can like stay somewhat involved.
You said
She's not moving to someone who's not on the Housewives house.
Yeah.
you said last
you
week
know.
that she's an actress, correct?
Yeah.
I was watching a few episodes back today, and she is the most dramatic person. She knows exactly what she's doing. Like she's like, I can act everything, and I can scream, and I can cry, and be ridiculous. She's setting herself up for a telenovela.
Oh, she is.
Good
Yeah.
one.
I'm excited. Good for her.
Yeah.
Even though she's awful, I think.
I love how telenovelas and like soap operas leave opportunity for bad actors to have jobs also. You know, it's like they can work too.
Room in the world.
Yeah,
But
they
Marta
can
of them.
doesn't. I don't think she speaks Spanish. She's Polish.
Well, she'll learn.
She can look.
She'll learn.
She's
She better
ethnically
learn.
ambiguous, especially for being
She definitely
Polish.
looks like she could be Cuban or something. I mean, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, I think.
But I thought it was really funny when she moved into Lisa's house and Lisa said, "You're like the sister I never had." And I thought to myself, well, weren't you a playmate? Like, haven't you had plenty of sisters? Hello.
It's funny.
I
She'd say
know.
that to a man.
But I thought
like,
it was also funny when Joanna said, like, as she was dropping off Martha, now don't get any Botox or plastic surgery, because I really truly think that neither of them have had any work done, Martha and Joanna.
I think Joanna's had her lips done.
Yes, definitely.
They-
She's like
they're-
the Tootsie Roll lip.
Yeah, they're fishy from the side. She's like always like, meh.
I think they're real.
I mean, they look really good. They're
They-
just-
They look too good to be fake.
I think
I
there's
think-
something. I think
yeah.
it's subtle
Really?
because she's 32. I think when you're in or 33, when you're in this business and you're going to be on TV, I don't think you shy away from getting just a little something. But yeah, Molly's fish. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
It's kind of unnatural. We should Google or we should Bing.
You
it-
should Bing
we
it.
should Bing it and search her picture from before.
I was binging last night and saw Lisa's body before the surgery.
Oh Lord.
And I wanted to be like, she was flat, but she had like normal chest. But it's so funny how like not sexy she looks compared to now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I just want to cut off from that awkwardly as well and just tell you guys to listen to our. Well, you had someone holding up a board telling you to do something, and there's like no natural way to pretend it's not there.
Hey, seriously?
He held it up naturally. It's just me transitioning.
I looked mighty fine doing that for you.
He did, but I wasn't. I was looking at the sign. I didn't see you. So we have 50 plus shows here at AfterBuzz. Everything from the Housewives to Boardwalk Empire. I'm only listening to shows I'm on.
Yeah.
From Boardwalk Empire to Walking Dead to Heart of Dixie to all different types of shows. So whatever you guys are into, you can find on AfterBuzz. You just go to AfterBuzzTV.com, and you can also find us all on iTunes as well, and YouTube. And you can always watch on YouTube too, because you know you can be unique. Because all of our listeners come from iTunes for the most part. But if you're watching on YouTube, hey, no,
Hey.
thanks. All right, end it. I got to get out of the segment. Okay, all right. So back to Joanna and Roman, or Joanna and her sister. I don't think we went into much about Roman though.
Well, I think that Marta moving out has to do with Roman, which is why I brought it up. I mean, it's clear that she's moving out because she has tension with him. She's probably the girl that he's emailing with.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She would use the emoticons. for
We would have
sure.
seen misspellings.
Yeah, that's true. And she wants to give them space to work out their issues as well. Yeah, I think she upgraded. I mean, the house that she's living in now, I think it's
Oh. Who
way
would
nicer.
want to live there?
Yeah, I want to live in
You get
Lisa's
your own
house.
like.
Yeah, but you notice in the interviews or in the confessionals in Lisa's house, her voice echoes because the house is so big and just filled
empty.
with like statues that
Marble.
it doesn't suck up any sort of sound because it's just marble statues and fake breasts
And cathedral season.
cathedral ceilings.
When she said this house is made of boobs, like I literally just pictured like thousands of big-breasted women like just in the house posing.
Big nipples.
Yeah. Like her boobs are
Some
insane.
kind of scar.
Well, of course they are.
I mean, they're
But I would
insane.
much rather have Joanna's boobs than,
I hate the word boobs.
you know.
I love this show.
It's a lot of boobs.
A lot of boobs.
A lot of boobs.
Cleave, all the cleave going on.
Yeah. One really good line someone had, I think Adriana had, your head is filled with Botox, your brain's filled with Botox, or don't fill your brain with Botox, or your brain's filled with Botox. I don't know. Anyway,
Who'd she say that to? Lisa?
I think it was in the previews
For the upcoming
for the
season.
upcoming. Yeah.
Can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Juicy.
So you think, Molly, that Roman is being completely truthful, right?
I think Roman. I think I keep going Roman, Rodolfo, Roberto. Like I get all these.
Yeah.
Roman, Joanna's guy. Yeah, I think that he was being honest. He said to her, I think completely honestly, he said, you know, I did want to leave you. I didn't cheat on you. It didn't get that far, but I'll be honest with you, it was moving in that direction, and he stopped himself. And it seemed like she listened and respected what he said. I mean, obviously she was hurt, but she didn't blow up. I think she was soaking it all in.
Well, I think Joanna sees truth in it because I'm pretty sure she left him alone for quite some time.
Yeah.
So I think she understands why he did that.
Yeah.
She probably didn't have her heart in the relationship. He was probably lonely. She gets it. She was probably a little bit of an a-hole.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, her career takes her traveling and all over the world.
And especially, he even said it on a few episodes back. He was like, "You've been gone. We've had this. Each year, it's been something." And they've been only together for 5 years. And I feel like every year there's always something. And I'm curious to know if the Housewives being on camera has affected their relationship as well.
Yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
probably is not the type of guy maybe who should live in Miami, where he's associated with someone like Joanna, who would be really into herself, traveling elsewhere, you know, looking hot probably to other men. Because, I mean, on the outside, like I said last week, he looks like a jock to me who would be born and bred in the Midwest and would go to, like, I don't know, Northwestern and, like, live in a fraternity. That's what he looks like to me. I would be very
I
surprised
think
to
you
find
think
out
that
he's
Northwestern
French.
has way hotter guys than they do.
I don't think he's hot, though. I don't know
Oh, really?
Hey, my
Northwestern
twin brother went to
necessarily.
Northwestern, so
Oh,
watch what
really?
you're saying, Clarence.
So a lot of hot people.
Your identical
Look.
twin brother?
We look identical, but we're not.
Okay.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
the hottest of the hot go to Northwestern.
But
Yeah.
I think he has his head on his shoulders.
Yeah, I do too. I
I
think
do
he just wants a
respect
girl
him.
with a little bit more empathy toward him, a little bit more domesticated,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot more respectful.
and a little bit more boring.
I think he
maybe.
wants a typical housewife, like an old school
I
housewife.
do too. I do too. And I
Yeah.
don't think he's ever going to find it in her, and I think he wants to find it in her, but he's never going to. And I think if they stay together, it's not going to work out.
Well, they were on Watch What Happens Live after, it was like a few weeks ago, and they were on together. They were still together.
Yeah. I
Mm.
mean,
Makes-
I think if they break up, it will be a long, stretched out breakup. Like, it will take, like, 10 tries to stick.
It just makes me sad for her because I think she deserves, well, I guess they both deserve something really genuine and awesome. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Right.
I just-
Everyone deserves a happy
Yeah.
relationship, and neither one of them are happy.
Yeah, I don't, and I think she deserves someone good too. Obviously, I don't say that. I just think though, because she is so into herself, and the way she treats Marta, I don't think she's the easiest person to be in a relationship with. And I think, you know, we saw her in that conversation in I think the first or second episode where she was not gonna do a shoot for the inside of the magazine.
Yeah,
she was a
she wanted to
cover
be the
only.
cover. Yeah.
And that was that diva, high maintenance girl that we're not really seeing in her confessionals. I guarantee when she functions with anyone who's working on the production team of The Housewives or one of her shoots or someone who's waiting on her at Whole Foods, she's not going to be very nice to them. So I don't think she is my perception that I'm getting from her is not of a nice, warm person. So of course she deserves someone to like who's into her, but I think she is a little self-indulgent to get someone who will be really nice to her because she's just going to keep constantly being.
I think Roman and Joanna are the
Selfish.
same type of person in a relationship. They want the person to be into them,
Yeah.
and they're just there to reap the benefits.
Yeah.
I really genuinely think that they're both the same, so it doesn't work when they're together
Right.
because
Right.
they
They
want
need
the
one
other one.
Such a good observation.
It is.
Right.
They need one person who's going to want to just sit there and cook and wait for them to walk
Yeah,
in the door.
hi.
Hey, I've been waiting for you all day.
I'm going to support you.
It's so-
Yeah.
yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Mm.
Their dinner's getting cold and you're tapping your watch, you know. Where are you? Oh, maybe they don't want that, but
Maybe. You never know.
You never know.
okay, so on to Lisa and Karen maybe their little interaction.
It seems clear that they're becoming buddy-buddy.
Yes.
Lisa doesn't seem to find Karen annoying, and I think we all agreed last week that despite Lisa's, looks, She seems pretty like she has her head on her shoulders.
She's savvy enough.
I said that she was like the therapist of the group. Everyone seems to come to her to their
Yeah,
for their
they
issues,
do.
and she knows
You know, she
the
always
good advice.
She always has this look on her face like, I know the camera's on me and I'm going to really look at you deeply and I'm going to squint slightly. Yes.
And
It's like the cat eyes kind of, yeah.
But you know, she kind of reminds me of, I think it's funny because we're all naming who everyone looks like. And everyone's going to agree with me and it's not going to be as on as like Chloe or, you know.
That was the best.
Yeah. But she reminds me of Renee Zellweger a little bit. In
yeah.
In her face and in her smile.
She
Because
has
Renee Zellweger always has that
sour
kind of
face.
squeezed, sour face.
Yeah.
I just see it in their eyes. They almost have the same thing in their eyes.
It's like squinting.
Yeah, it's a little bit of this squint. It's like, you had me at hello. Lisa's face is always
But
like
I will
that.
say that Lisa gives good look for the camera in her confessionals. She looks the best. She just looks amazing.
I want to know what her hair would look like straightened.
I think it would look
I
awesome.
think it would look good because she's
Yeah.
always got the flipped going, that typical kind of flipped.
So you think she's the most attractive?
I think Joanna's the most attractive, but I think Lisa is the most put together
Yeah,
all the time.
and she said she didn't go to that party because she didn't have time. You know, she said this takes time to put together.
Well,
it's like,
that's
we
the
get
thing
it. Yeah.
I have a feeling she doesn't wake up looking very pretty.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like it's not like good morning. It's more like good morning. Please go put on your makeup.
Right. The doctor probably leaves really early. so he
She's
can
the
go to
blonde.
work so he doesn't
She's the
see her.
blonde that Roman is not thinking about that doesn't wake up looking pretty.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
At least she admits it. She's like, this takes
no,
work.
but that's why
That's
I like
funny.
her.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
she's honest and kind of funny.
Yeah, she gets it.
There's a sense
Um,
of humor about how ridiculous and overdone she is.
Yeah, whereas someone like Leah would
No.
never call out the fact that she has a surgery.
She told Andy Cohen that she had never had anything done.
Right.
Oh, come on.
Face pulled tight,
Yeah.
She's got like
stretched.
clothespins holding back the back of her head.
Yeah.
So it cranks it up every
yeah.
night.
She's like, she
Crank,
looks like
crank.
Elaine.
Oh,
Oh, who's Elaine?
the drag queen.
Oh, right. Oh, right.
And
They're the
I
same
does.
person.
They
I
are.
have to
That's-
say, I'm going to call it out every time she does it. Well, I won't really because that'll get old. But she did it again where she wore the earrings and the necklace. It's like one of the
and they
other.
were both huge.
huge.
It's not like
Looked
they
a
were small,
Christmas tree.
tasteful ones.
She looked like a Christmas tree with ornaments, and then the Christmas tree skirt was her necklace.
And everyone always hates a Christmas tree
It was,
skirt.
it was a
never looked
bib,
good.
and not in a good way. It was a bib.
That's so funny.
There were pieces of like hors d'oeuvre in it.
Ew.
Gross.
Because she's the only one that eats out of the group.
Yeah.
Oh no, Anna does. Okay, but it was funny how like Lisa's not Hispanic, but everybody is Hispanic of some sort. Oh no, except for Joanna.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Lisa's not Hispanic in any way.
Leah.
Lisa.
Lisa's
Lisa-
not Hispanic at all?
No, Lisa
Oh.
Hochstein.
Oh,
Well, she married somebody Jewish, but
right.
she's white.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess
not-
when you do your hair and makeup
or
like that,
she's-
I
she's
assume you're Latino.
not Hispanic when you check a box.
Right, okay.
But it
Voter
was funny
registration.
when she was talking with Karen. She had that kind of Telemundo-esque when Karen was telling her about what happened. She went, "No." I was like, she's been around these women.
She's been
for
around
a
Miami
long
too long.
time. I know. It just made me laugh.
That's funny.
I don't know why though, because we think she's savvy, but yet she likes Karen. I feel like if she was
Well, that's the
savvy, she
thing.
wouldn't like Karen.
But she wasn't around those two times. She wasn't around at the art thing, which by the way, this artist, the old man artist, is getting more publicity than he probably ever deserves. And she wasn't out at Alexia's party because she couldn't get herself done up in time. So she hasn't seen Karen behave this way.
But I think that she enjoys Karen because Karen is always super complimentary to everyone that she's around. So maybe that's why Lisa likes her. She's like, oh,
and
all
because
right, I
Lisa
like
doesn't
this.
see her around anyone else, she thinks she's the only one getting the compliments from Karen.
Yeah, maybe.
Perhaps.
And let's be frank, Lisa needs a friend besides Daisy. I mean, Daisy can be her friend at home, but she can't take Daisy out to the clubs.
How are Lisa's teeth? Does she need work? Does she need any dental stuff?
I don't think so. I think
No,
she.
I haven't really
I think
looked.
she
She's
has.
done.
I think she has veneers or something like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really noticed her teeth
Manicured teeth.
specifically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see them falling apart. I see their relationship not really hanging on.
Well, I think Lisa's savvy enough to get sick of Karen. No offense.
No, I mean, I'm not.
You might have to sit over there soon.
On every shirt, under everything I wear a Team Karen shirt. No, I don't.
Well, that's the funny thing I was just thinking about all the
Your
housewives.
cross,
It's
your
like
crucifix
you
is a
become
T.
like a fan of one and you hate the others. Like it's like Team Heather or Team Ramona. Like
Team Nene.
Human
they
nature
said
is so
I
horrible,
guess,
isn't
but
it?
It's like for those of us that don't watch football, it's like this is our football.
Yeah, of course.
Like I take it none of us here watch football.
No.
I actually
Okay.
do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, which is embarrassing. I won't admit it in this platform. And then when I watch football, I wouldn't admit that I watch this and that platform. So
Yeah. Good.
I wear two faces.
Separate lives.
Yeah.
But it's like how you can have those alliances.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
that
you
I'm
get really
completely in
into who
support
you're
of
into.
Karen, but I'm just saying that I think that all the bad juju for her is coming out of jealousy.
Okay.
Well,
I'm
you're
not saying I'm not for
You're
her.
probably right because
Yes.
she's a successful self-made woman.
well, when we watched it, your guttural reaction was to be, be upset for what they were doing to
I
Karen.
just don't like
It
when
was
that
uncomfortable.
attacking mode of everybody in the circle
You know
going
why?
after them. Like,
It's-
that's just rude.
It's because you're not a girl and you never grew up being attacked like that from girls.
Yeah, but you see it. I mean, I guess
Because
that's
I'm
true,
used
yeah.
to it. I mean, in high school, I grew up, like just in those scenarios where all of a sudden you're just gangbanged essentially by all these women, and eventually you just become a willing participant.
I think it's called bullied.
It feels more like gangbang.
Yeah.
Gangbang
Believe
and
me, when you've been through it.
willing participant and gangbang should not be used on this show.
Well, it is.
Miami
It's
and
Real
gangbang
Housewives.
go really well together.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah. All right. So Marta and Lisa now. Okay. So Lisa's got the alliance with Karen. Marta's living at Lisa's. I know we talked about them moving in together, but Lisa seems to be aligning herself with everyone opposite. Everyone who's not really in the cool circle. Because Marta's not really in the cool circle yet with any
The
of these
veterans.
women.
Like
of
I
the
said,
show.
Lisa
Yeah,
has
she
no
has
friends.
stayed away from the veterans.
She has no friends.
Right.
She said it herself. She's lonely, and her only friend is Daisy.
Poor
She has amazing
Lisa.
boobs, though, so we can't feel that bad for her.
I don't know what anything else. I think because we missed the first 15, the episode went by
Yeah.
so
We
fast.
should probably talk about Alexia and Anna's conversation.
Yeah. Please
That's-
start
I
us
think
off.
that's one of those genuine moments.
Yes.
A genuine
I
human
actually
moment.
teared up, and I didn't want to
I
tell
did
you
too.
guys.
No,
Oh,
I
I
did.
did.
I did.
Oh,
I mean,
we all
that's-
got teary?
You should. If you weren't, you'd be heartless. And I think that Anna, what I think about Anna is that she is almost like the reality check for everyone. Like, she brings the realness out of everybody. Like, even with Joanna in the grocery store, there was like this.
Because Anna
normal
doesn't
moment.
seem porcelain. She doesn't look fake.
She seems cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get comfortable with her instantly.
She's down to hang.
Like she should have been a therapist. Because
Yeah.
you just see her and you're like, it's the same with, it's almost like the motherly thing, like Khloe Kardashian with the sisters. She's the one that you can tell everyone she can have the best conversations, or she has the strongest shoulder to lean on.
And she's just honest about herself, and she's like, I don't care, I'm gonna make fun of it. And I
Right.
feel like Anna's, and
Right.
even Anna's marriage is the same way. She's like, I'm gonna own it, and I don't care what you think about it.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
And when we were watching it, I mentioned I think Anna should just stay together with her husband, because it's like you guys get a,
They get along so well.
in conversation, that's all you need
Yeah.
at that point, at that age.
Like,
really.
I suggest that they just have an open marriage.
Yeah. I do too. Especially you have the
why
daughter.
divorce?
Get the tax breaks.
Right. They know they've already been with other people. Just let it continue and
don't seem
just
to
be really
care.
good friends, because
Yeah.
they have a really good chemistry. But
They do. They're like flirting.
Yeah.
Kind of, almost bantering. I
It's
don't get the
cute.
problem.
I think it's cute too. But Robert also does the same thing I think Lisa does, which is when the camera's on him, I think he turns it on.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, Mr. Personality."
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine he's like.
There's
that
a little
every
bit
day.
of slime ball with him. I
Oh
think.
yeah.
The hair.
The hair.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well,
Yikes.
that office needs a makeover, by the way.
That
It's the
doesn't
most
make sense at
dismal,
all.
horrible office. If you walk in
know.
there to hire a lawyer, you'd walk in and go, obviously this guy doesn't
I'm
make
gonna
enough money.
lose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
And it doesn't make sense because Anna's like in leopard with a full spray tan and like blown out hair
Right.
Yeah.
in this like
Yeah. If
desolate
I was a
office.
woman like that, I would
Doesn't
want
make
to
sense.
be in a
It's
nice
strange.
environment.
You'd picture like, I don't know, glamour.
Yeah.
It just looks like a stuffy office, or like a office from a small town.
It looks
you
like an
know?
office of a non-profit organization.
Right.
Like, we have no money to decorate, and you walk in and you're like, I get it, because
Right.
you're raising money
Here's
for
a
other
flyer.
people.
Yeah.
And theirs is only nonprofit because they're not making any money, not because they're trying to be helpful toward the world. Why are you
But-
guys always quiet after I say things? I'm so uncomfortable.
Silent.
First of all, I don't want to be hosting and leading, just so everyone
No,
listening knows
we're
that.
admiring
Oh.
you.
No,
We are.
I've said to Molly now, so for everyone listening and who's been listening, I'm putting Molly out there.
Oh, no.
If you want Molly to lead, just let us know, because I have asked her over and over to intro the show and lead, and she doesn't want to, because
No.
she wants to come in with funny, witty comments.
Yeah.
And so I'm jealous, because then I have to be on this train of keeping it going.
you
and
keep it going
sometimes
so well.
I don't
Yeah.
feel like I do.
I
Well,
think
you
you do.
do.
No, I don't feel like it, especially
Don't
right
you
now.
think she does a good
I,
job?
I really think you do a great job. Oh, we're having a moment.
Yeah, but
You do a really good job of keeping it on topic. Like what we're doing right now is totally on topic.
yeah,
Yes.
I don't know. It's making me nervous. But anyway, now I don't know how to transition out of it. I think we kind of touched upon pretty much everything. Again, it went by
I mean, we
fast
could talk
for
about
us.
the meal that Joanna made. Okay, really broth from a box.
I know.
You gotta heat that
Well,
up.
first of all, Anna is saying she's a good cook, and she's the one who told her to buy the broth from the box.
I don't
Are
know,
you
just
saying
something
it's a
about,
bad? Are you saying it's a bad thing to do broth from a
like
box?
broth
Yeah.
in a box and risotto in a box? It just seems like a lot of boxes.
I mean, to make your own broth is very
it just
difficult.
doesn't seem that gourmet.
But it was like a beef broth. To make a beef broth is probably very difficult.
I guess I
And I
just-
don't think
I don't know much
Joanna's
about
capable
cooking,
of
but
that.
no.
I don't know. Maybe I don't like broth. I don't know. Maybe
Well-
I discovered this about myself tonight.
Right.
Bothers
Well,
me.
because I said this when we were
Broth
watching.
is a hot topic.
Broth is a very hot topic.
Yeah.
Okay,
God.
gross.
Broth.
That's
That's
like
a type
they're
of
getting
broth,
weird.
I
that's like
guess.
the grossest song ever. But how about
Gangbang is not appropriate, but that song is.
When you're talking about sexy broth, I mean, you just got to.
broth?
Like soup
Like
broth.
chicken broth.
Yeah, sexy broth.
Not breath or
I
breath.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Oh my god, literally? Okay, anyway, I'm gonna drop it. But how about how she was like screaming at Marta in the kitchen?
They thrive off of that in their
do.
relationship.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
It doesn't hurt Marta's feelings, and all of that. So, I think, we'll end it on broth and just we'll end on a high note.
Yeah.
We'll
The
end
broth,
on a
the broth
a
can
salty
float
note.
us to next week,
Yes,
right?
we will ride that like a-
Segue.
We'll ride that river, that lazy
I guess
river.
what I'm just trying to say, if you're gonna make a simple meal, make like a pasta.
Right. No, I hear you.
It looks more artisan
Okay,
than
we're
like
gonna-
a box of broth and like
We're gonna
risotto.
get into our special segment, which you should have said really quick.
Yes.
Would you like to start, Mo?
Yes, sure. I'll start.
I-
Okay, so when Karen was telling Lisa about what happened at the party, Lisa said, I mean, oh my God, you should just tell her to like pick on someone your own size. And what she should have said was, pick on someone your own breast size.
That's good.
I had to bring it
That's
back.
good.
I had to bring it back. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, I only had one. It's not that. Well, I had two, but neither of them are great. Alexia said, I do have my Cuban background and I'm proud of it. And what she should have said is, I do have my Cuban background and I'm not proud of it. And I'll leave it at that. Because the other one's not politically correct either.
Oh, oops.
But I'm JKing.
You never say anything
I'm
politically correct.
JKing.
Yeah, you're
I
JK.
know.
She's JK.
I'm a JK. Oh, yes.
Oh,
Okay.
you have news and gossip.
You have news and
then.
gossip,
I
right?
do have
All
some
right.
news and gossip.
Awesome news and gossip.
TV news.
All right, Jake, why don't you?
Well, during the broadcast of the show, Joanna was retweeting a lot of people saying that Adriana should not have been asked back to the cast.
Whoa.
I know. And then also I read that Adriana and Joanna went on a Twitter war saying something about Joe Francis, who clearly we saw in the preview for the next few episodes, that he's going to be bringing some drama, that he brought up drama with the two of them, and now they go at it. And they had made a truce, supposedly, and then Adriana tweeted something bad about Joanna, saying that she was a hooker.
Wait, who's Joe Francis?
The owner
Girls
of
Gone
Girls Gone
Wild.
Wild.
Oh, okay.
He
Okay.
always comes up in these random situations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Adriana
Wow.
is stirring the pot, Joanna is stirring the pot, and they do not like each other.
Interesting.
Well, Joanna said, she said, the bee can't be trusted, and then she
Mhm.
said she needs to worry about her man instead of flirting with others. I think she feels threatened by me or intimidated by me. It's like, of course she feels intimidated by you. Look at you.
You're perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah. I would just leave the room if she was there ever. I'd be like, are there uglier people I can stand next to so I can look good? I don't know.
It's like that Facebook picture rule where you're supposed to stand next to somebody that's like not attractive.
Yeah,
And
I
somebody
never-
said that to me the other day and was like, ew.
I
who
never
does
see
that?
Facebook pictures with people hotter than them in the picture with them. Anyway, I think that's about it, right, guys?
That's our news and gossip.
Well,
Yeah.
that was this week's episode.
It was fun.
It was fun. Let's get into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
I think we've been doing a lot of predictions already throughout
Yeah.
this episode. Do we have any more?
I don't know.
Anybody? We can talk over the aliens.
Do you have any predictions?
I think my prediction is going to be that Joanna and Adriana are going to go after it. And
Yeah.
I mean, clearly
Well,
she
of
hits her in
course.
the face.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so excited for
I
that.
can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
I think that's really loud. I think Karen is going to take a back seat to all the drama when Adriana and Joanna go at it. I think
Yeah.
Adriana's going to forget Karen even annoyed her to begin with, and she's just going to beat the crap out of Joanna.
I have a prediction. I have a prediction that you guys are going to go onto iTunes, you're going to rate, you're going to comment, and you're going to follow us on Twitter.
There she is. She's leading and
I'm
hosting.
leading.
Yay.
You can follow me at Molly Comedy.
You can follow me at Jake_Dupree.
And you can follow me at Kristen Carney. It's KristenCarney. And we will be back next Thursday, so we'll see you then.
Can't wait.
Bye.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.